Today, gonna react to a cool new video about dinosaur fossil from the NBC News YouTube channel. This was uploaded back 2 days ago by NBC News. Talks about how dinosaur fossil was found under Denver Museum parking lot. Interesting. Let's check it out.
Dinosaur fossils are a big draw at the Denver Museum of Nature and Science. You can find them all over. But when a team of scientists from the museum were doing research in the parking lot back in January, they didn't expect to find one right below their feet. I mean, the probability.
Yeah, that's so interesting to just find a random dinosaur fossil at a parking lot. That's so convenient. And not just any parking lot, uh, a museum in Denver, Colorado parking lot. Just convenient. That's like pretty awesome. Like I would love that to happen to me. I would love to be able to just find some random, I don't know, foot of a dinosaur or ancient mammal, one of primate ancestors or something, or ape ancestors. That would be really cool.
If you had drilled the well 2 feet over, might not have hit it. So it's pretty amazing. Dr. James Hagedorn led the team drilling into the parking lot. They were digging scientific cores, testing whether or not the museum could transition from natural gas to geothermal energy. So a scientific core is basically a cylinder of rock that we extract, kind of like a doctor uses a syringe to extract blood from you. So in a way, it is a bunch of dirt. It's kind of ancient dirt, actually. And nearly 800.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. I know that's what they're trying to do. So, but that's pretty smart. If they're capable of doing that, that's probably bad renewable energy using geothermal energy. So that's interesting.
Into that ancient dirt, the fossil showed up. So one of the surprising things about this dinosaur in particular is that it turns out it's not only Denver's deepest dinosaur, but it's also its oldest. Those aren't the only records this bone is breaking. This is the first, and as far as I know, the only dinosaur bone from a core in the world that you can go see. There's only 3 of these that have been discovered on Earth and that have been reported.
Hmm.
Dr. Hagedorn says
That's really interesting. They really just found like this, like winning, almost like winning basically a lottery, you can say, because this is like really rare stuff, man. That's really awesome.
his paleontologist colleagues determined the bone is the vertebra of a plant-eating dino. Maybe
Hmm.
something similar to the Monosaurus over here, or to a Fescalosaurus, or some one of their kindred spirits of the time. And thanks to the rest of the core, he says you can tell the layer the fossil was found near
Hmm.
was that of a pond. So for me, it's pretty neat to see, was that dinosaur drinking water out of that pond or munching on plants nearby? It's just something cool to imagine. A rare discovery made right beneath his feet. It is a needle inside of a needle inside of a haystack. Ryan Wendland, 9 News. We thank you for.
Now that to me is pretty cool. Those things are definitely not common to find. So the fact that they're doing a different type of work, trying to change the type of energy source they're using for the museum, and that's how they found one new fossil, is pretty awesome. I would not expect that either. That's pretty crazy. Really happy for them. This is great for paleontologists. More research you can do, a new fossil you found that's really rare, and it's just great all around just to learn something new about the life of plant-eating dinosaurs, how they survived back in the day. It's really interesting. To me, I think that's really cool. I always love finding out this news about scientific news, updated science news. When they're able to find these fossils, sometimes the most, I guess you can say, obvious places, but you wouldn't think is there. You think you have to go to a much particular spot to find more fossils, where you really expect them more. But sometimes it's just right in the backyard. Some people have houses where they found ancient fossils of either human ancestry or other mammals or dinosaurs or other reptiles, insects, and just right in the backyard. Sometimes you just happen to be in the right place at the right time, and you find these really rare fossils. It's really cool though. You gonna read some of the comics. The allure that museum is probably sitting on artifacts that should be ended. It's possible they could have much more than just that fossil there. Could be a lot more unique fossil, maybe even some ancient human technology, like ancient bows and crossbows, maybe ancient um type of technology we used to carry things around. You never know. NASCAR is finding Richard III. in the car park on the parking space marked with the letter R painted on it. I don't know. That I don't get. That I don't know. But that's fine, I guess. Guess they should build a lower level exhibit now. They should. That would be pretty cool actually. But that's cool. Been years ago, our printer was rich of oxygen 0.35 stuff like that. Now only 0.20. Sure, but oxygen levels are not the only thing needed to be able to sustain large animals like dinosaurs that we're seeing. Not just the predator ones like T-Rex, but especially the plant-eating ones, like the long-neck dinosaurs and all that. When you see those type of dinosaurs, yeah, they will require more oxygen, but oxygen alone is not enough to sustain such a large species. You also need to have the environment for them, food sources, water sources. Because the bigger the species, the more food and water they need, not just more oxygen. You can have plenty of oxygen and it's still not be able to grow enough. There were plenty of smaller species back then too. Small reptiles too. It just depends on the evolutionary path that the species took that was the best for the survival. It all depends on your adaptation in the end. Sometimes being big and getting and growing big and bigger is a good thing, but it can backfire sometimes. And the opposite can also be true. Sometimes being too small can backfire. Depends on the niche, the resources you have left. Nowadays, we're seeing that because of lack of habitat, food sources, etc., for some species, birds in particular have been growing smaller. So they're taking different evolutionary path to keep growing small so they can survive less food and water. So we're seeing that switch now because of climate change, habitat loss, invasive species like us, taking over the habitat, destroying the environment, increasing the speed of climate change. So a lot of species can't adapt fast enough. So some bird species are growing smaller, as an example of a new adaptation to survive longer. That's part of the evolutionary path they're taking, which is interesting. It's all about adaptation then. So, but overall, I think this is really cool. I hope that they can find more of these fossils. They always seem to be something they find. Normally, broken bone species, and it's hard to know exactly which species it might be from. If it could be a new species for all we know, but that's really tough to really find out with just some bone fragments. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If you're excited about this, if you think maybe, like some of the comment said there, that maybe they should look more underneath the museum. There could be a lot more stuff you don't know. I think maybe they should try to excavate a bit underground and see if they could find something more. That could be cool. Maybe just an idea. But let me know if you guys think that's something they should do or if they shouldn't. Could be too much. And if you guys are excited for more dinosaur news, like if you really want more paleontology, just find more new stuff, just so we can learn more about dinosaurs. I am. I know if you guys are too. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Watch this on TikTok, follow us on TikTok, and again, can support us on Patreon. All right, guys, have a safe day.